Well, we continue to roll along toward Thanksgiving this week here. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. And thank you, the Take Two family, for tuning in. And we're looking forward to another wonderful conversation with you about real life things. We just present a topic most of the time. Sometimes we don't. Unscripted and prayer shows, we don't have a topic. But today we will. And we're going to look forward to you, again, sharing your inspiration, your insights, your lived experiences as we talk about holiday travel today. I'm Jerry Usher, along with Debbie Georgiani. Hi, Debbie.
Hello, Jerry. Hello. We're getting closer to that Turkey Day. Much closer. And then travel is starting. You're getting in the car. You're packing things up. You're getting ready, prepared to go to the airport and wait for a couple hours before you possibly board that plane, because there's a lot of canceled flights and things changing and weather and all sorts of things. So travel, any which way you look at it, by land or by air, can be very stressful. So how do you make it more enjoyable? What are some of the tricks, the games, the helpful, the practical tips and hints that you can share with us to make? Now, I'm not traveling, but I have in the past and for many years. But you guys are listening right now. Maybe you're in the car right now, and you could share with us those special things that you can do to make the experience something that you really look back on and think of with a smile on your face, rather than, wow, I don't want to do that again.
Right. So start dialing right now. This is the best time to get through. Always. The phone lines are available at the start of the show. Matt Gabensky is standing by the telephone to screen your calls. 833-288-EWTN. 833-288-3986. Like Debbie, I am not traveling this holiday season, at least not by air. I may drive somewhere, but I remember growing up, the parents have to do things to kind of get the kids to pay attention and to behave and to not be fidgeting a whole lot. And there are a lot of things you can do. And Debbie mentioned this also. This is kind of like our Planes, Trains, and Automobiles program, Debbie. That's the way I've been kind of looking at it coming into it.
I love that movie. Don't you love that movie?
I know. It's hilarious, yeah.
That's one of our favorites. Yeah, it is. And so we want to hear from you. So if you're driving, maybe you could call in or pull over safely to the side of the road. Make sure you make a safe call. If you have hands-free, you could possibly do that. 833-288-3986. Or if you traveled in the past, you could share some of the fun games you played with your kids. Jeff Burson, our social media manager and expert and board operator today, was sharing about what he did with his kids, which I've never heard before, which I thought is so brilliant. He would give all the kids a color, and then when they were driving in the car during Christmas time, and they would, at nighttime especially, and they would spot that color of the light. So if you green or red, the color of Christmas, right? They get to yell out that color, and so it keeps them alert and keeps them looking, out and being part of the drive experience. I think that is brilliant. But then I thought to myself, if I got the color green or red, I would be yelling the whole time, because that's normally what you see the whole ride. I need like a off color. I don't know, like purple or something. That's interesting, though, isn't it? I like that.
It is, yeah. A lot of things you can do to make the drive engaging, interesting. That's just talking about driving, of course. We're talking about flying as well. Maybe this year you are not going anywhere. Maybe you're not going to travel at all. Maybe you decided to make it a home Christmas. Maybe people are coming to you where you are. Share about that. Share, what kind of thoughts went into your decision to not travel. Last year, of course, for a lot of us, it was the COVID restrictions and so forth. I think they're considerably lighter this year, but they're still present in some places. So let's talk about holiday travel, making it enjoyable, making it tolerable, actually making it a blessed experience. Okay, and then spending that time with family as well. Talk about that if you're looking forward to traveling to be with family, loved ones, friends this Thanksgiving, maybe coming up at Christmas. 833-288-3986 is your phone number to call.
Well, you know me, Jerry. I love the airports because I love to people watch, right? And it's really a lot of fun. Now, when you go into the airports, you have to wear your mask as soon as you enter in. on the grounds, and then the mask has to stay on at all times. And so it's a much different experience. And also with the shortage of labor and stuff that people aren't working and they can't find help, it's also the customer service, you can tell, is definitely diminishing, or I could say it's almost non-existent. When Marty and I, in October, when we were traveling to Ohio and we came back to Arizona, and we had a couple stops, it was quite shocking. I mean, you would go to a restaurant, Jerry, and they would come up to you to take your order, and then they'd say, "Well, we don't know how long it's going to be. We don't have enough cooks in the kitchen, so we're not sure how long this is going to take. So we hope you're not in a hurry." Because I mean, it was the strangest atmosphere. I don't know if anybody else experienced it, but we couldn't wait to get out of the airport. It was so weird. Normally, you know me, Jerry, I love just sitting there and taking in the whole atmosphere of the hustle and bustle of an airport, but not anymore. Very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Usually there are too many cooks in the kitchen. In this case, there weren't enough cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
In your personal experience. But maybe you've traveled recently. What was your experience like? It's so much a part of our lives. I mean, Debbie, you and I both travel a lot for so many different things, Catholic radio work and pledge drives, and gosh, I mean, hundreds of trips I've taken in the last 20 years, and now we're doing a lot of that virtually, of course, the pledge drive. So I haven't seen the inside of an airport for, maybe a couple years now. So you and I, of course, are going to be doing the parish Advent mission in Sun City West at Prince of Peace, December 5th, 6th, and 7th. So I'll be flying over there for that. So I will have a travel by air experience there. But dear Take Two family, we're asking you today, over the years, maybe you've got family traditions you'd like to share. Maybe you've developed some of your own. Maybe you just kind of tolerate travel to get to where you want to go. This is what we're talking about today on the program. You've got to weigh in to make the program what it is each and every day. We are waiting for you. Patty is already in and been screened by Matt Gabensky. Rich Jesse is our producer. As Debbie said, Jeff Burson is on the controls. And thank you, affiliates, for carrying the program today and every day. How do you make travel enjoyable? 833-288-3986 is the number to call. A couple of open phone lines there. You will get one right now when you call in. 833-288-3986.
EWTN is seeking a dynamic producer to join the EWTN radio team in Irondale, Alabama. The right candidate will be a passionate, multi-skilled, talented professional who can manage and direct all aspects of producing world-class programming and play a part in Mother Angelica's mission of evangelization. If this is you or someone you may know, email a resume and cover letter, including salary requirements, to humanresources@EWTN.com.
Do you love to read great books? How about fellowshipping online with like-minded people? It's all in one place, the Inspired by Faith Book and Fellowship Club. You'll find out all you need to know when you log on to standtalltoday.com and click on the Book Club tab at the top of the page. Hundreds of people are already making great use of their free membership. What about you? Go to standtalltoday.com and sign up for the Inspired by Faith Book and Fellowship Club today.
Each week on The World Over, Raymond Arroyo challenges listeners and viewers with important political and cultural reporting and analysis of a wide variety of topics of interest to Catholics and people of faith. And you can get news from the world over in your inbox every week. It's easy. Visit EWTN.com and click subscribe. EWTN, the Global Catholic Network.
We're so glad you're with us on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio, and something that I want to tell you about. This is really an important book available at EWTN Religious Catalog. I mean, everything that the Religious Catalog has is helpful, beneficial, fruitful, spiritually edifying in so many ways, very beneficial. But there's a book now available at EWTNRC.com. It's called The World's Greatest Secret: How the Greatest Teaching of Jesus Was Preserved. And the author is John Hafford. And in the book, John, who's the co-founder of the Blue Army of Our Lady of Fatima, explores the greatest, most controversial teaching of Jesus and how this secret, quote unquote, was carefully preserved by the apostles. Now, a little hint into that: with the alarming number of Catholics who do not believe in the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist, this book is one of the most important books of our time. And get this, St. Padre Pio prayed for the book's success, and he prophesied it'll succeed while the author is living, but will have its greatest success after his death. The author passed away in 2001, and the World Apostolate of Fatima USA is pleased to present this new edition, available now at EWTNRC.com. Still plenty of time to get this for yourself or someone you love for Christmas. You get free standard shipping for online orders $75 or more in the continental United States only. Use code FREE at checkout when you go to EWTNRC.com.
Since we may have folks that are traveling right now in their cars, and you just tuned in and you're catching Take Two. Take Two is a worldwide platform for you to call in and to share your lived experiences. Okay, to impart your wisdom to others. Souls are listening. People are learning. People are growing. That's what we have been doing now for 6.5 years. Okay, so if you're listening right now and you'd like to participate, we're asking you to give us your helpful tips and practices that you use when you travel to make it enjoyable. And like Jerry said, to make it a real blessed experience. You know, maybe even part of a ministry work that you do, right? Because you're meeting other souls. So it's that soul to soul ministry. Creative ways to make travel enjoyable, and also for our children, because they are like sponges. They are learning and growing. So we need your help. If you're listening right now, we count you as part of the family, and we expect you to step in and make a call and just take it away, because people are learning. Okay, so here's the number: 833-288-3986. Please call us right now so we can have a very robust discussion about this. And Patty, if you're listening, I believe you're from Richmond, Virginia, please call back. You were first up, and we'd like you to lead the conversation, and Matt Gabinski will put you at the front of the line. So Patty, please, you just dropped off, and we'd love to hear, you were talking about audiobooks. I think that is brilliant. Audiobooks for kids. I think that is wonderful when you're traveling a long way. But I still like Jeff Burson's idea about the colors, because I think that's so it gets kids to really look out the window and start to take in their surroundings, and I think that was very ingenious.
Mm-hmm. We used to play Slug Bug. Remember that?
What was that again? What was that?
If you saw a Volkswagen Bug, you would
hit the other person.
We would punch our brother in the arm. Yeah, that was not a really good game to play while you're traveling in a confined car.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. I had 2 sons, but we used to play I Spy. Remember I Spy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always good too. That was really good. Although sometimes I would find myself, if I was driving, trying to play I Spy, I would drive off. Slightly drive off the road. That's not a good thing. You know, you probably shouldn't do that if you're driving. I don't know. Car bingo. Look at that. Car bingo with state license plates. That is brilliant. I'm going on a picnic game. I love that too. Okay. Did you ever do that with state license plates? That would be fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. As we got a little bit older and knew kind of what makes and models of cars were, we would try and guess the cars as soon as we could, the cars that were coming in the other direction, before they got there, and try and be the one to pick what kind of car it was.
Interesting.
Yeah,
What
a lot
is
of things
what
you
is
can do.
Yeah, what is I'm going on a picnic game? What's that?
I don't know.
Rich, you have to explain. Rich, our producer, is typing over some different creative ideas. He's got two little beautiful girls, and so he's got to get creative quickly. How about this? And when I was young, you could probably relate to this, Jerry. It was just like our parents just saying, "Be quiet."
Mm-hmm.
Don't go to sleep. They would say, "Go to sleep. Take a nap."
Right.
Oh, too funny.
Yeah, so again, it's your program today. We got some calls being screened right now. When they are ready, we will get to those. A couple of people have dropped off. Like Debbie said, Patty was all set to go and dropped off. So Patty, if you'd like to call back. But we are in the Thanksgiving week here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. You probably got a lot of things going on right now. Maybe you're kind of grabbing that turkey. Did turkeys have to be out of the oven thawing by now, Debbie, for Thursday?
I would think so. Don't you have to well in advance?
Yeah, I just don't know. I think I've cooked one turkey in my life, maybe. So.
I used to do the ones in the bag. Those were great.
Oh, well, right, yeah, sure.
Yeah, those are fabulous. Okay, so the picnic game that Rich just described to us has to do with the alphabet. So you would start with like, I'm bringing an apple, and then the next person says something that it starts with B and then C, and then go down the alphabet. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's really cool. You could play that with adults too.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Matt Gabinski said they did that with Saints.
Oh, very nice.
That's really cool. See how creative this is getting? Listen, you guys, do you want to hear all our creative tips? No, we want to hear yours. So please call in and share yours. This is all the show team sharing their fun, enjoyable, creative travel games, right? We want to hear yours, your ideas, your tips, your wisdom on this. 833-288-3986. And maybe your wisdom is don't travel, stay home.
Well, that could be it. I was going to invite anyone who is maybe not going anywhere for the holidays. Maybe you're not going to travel. Maybe you have nowhere to go. Maybe you're a single person. Maybe you're a recently married couple, and you're just going to kind of hunker down right where you are and spend the holidays there. But again, maybe you're going to the in-laws, and that's another thing too. How do you juggle? Maybe you've got tons and tons of family that you're able to go visit. They're all kind of within a reasonable distance of where you live. And you have to kind of make decisions about, where you're going to spend this part of, say, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Christmas night. Some people get around quite a bit during the holidays going to see a lot of family. Maybe you have that blessed dilemma. That would be a wonderful kind of challenge for you to figure out each and every year. So how does that work? How do you sort through all of that? 833-288-3986 is the number. 833-288-3986.
And back in our travel days, like Jerry said, we did a lot of traveling for pledge drives around the country. Maybe you want to call in and ask us how we made it fun. You and I used to laugh. I mean, how many restaurants do you think we almost got kicked out of? I think at least half a dozen.
I don't know.
We would start laughing. We just couldn't stop. We just couldn't stop. And everybody was like, what's going on over here? And we're like, nothing. It's usually we would be doing lines from What About Bob? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, sure.
The movie What About Bob? I know. Great movie. If you like the movie, call in. We'd like to maybe how about in some of the cars, Jerry? They have like built-in TV sets all in the back.
Yeah.
Have you noticed
thankfully
that?
They're in the back, yeah.
I know. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we want to hear from you, so please dial in. Enough of our banter and enough of the show team's practical tips on traveling. We want to hear from you. Come on, you guys, step up. Don't get going with your turkey day yet. 833-288-3986. That is the number to call. One more shout out to Patty. Patty in Richmond, Virginia. Call back. We'd love to hear your story about audiobooks. I think it would be great to help other families that are traveling by car as well.
Okay. I think we have Susan ready in Connecticut. I believe we do. So let's go to Susan, who is listening on the EWTN app, to Take Two with Jerry. Maybe, hold on a second. I got to learn how to read this new call screening screen. Yeah, Susan is not quite ready. So we will actually, we got an email from our dear friend. Huh?
We did. I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sunflower Lindy from across the ocean. You want to read it? You want me to?
You go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. Lindy says, hello, Jerry and Debbie. I love today's topic. It has been a while since I last traveled internationally due to the pandemic, etc., but this is how I usually make travel enjoyable. by packing warm and comfy socks. It can be rather cold on planes, so taking off your shoes while traveling, if you can, and putting on warm socks can certainly make it more comfortable. Travel blankets are also great to take on trains. There's nothing like wrapping yourself in a travel blanket when waiting for a delayed international train or having to wait for a transfer at a freezing cold station somewhere in the world. She also says by packing lots of chocolate, smiley face. And Lindy adds she can also make travel enjoyable by praying over the hotel room, Airbnb, holiday cottage upon arrival before unpacking the suitcase. Also by decorating the place I'm staying. I love decorating hotel rooms too. It just makes it feel more like home. Just don't forget to take all the decorations down upon departure. I would also advise finding the nearest florist and placing a fresh bouquet of flowers at one's travel accommodation. It instantly makes it feel more homey. And finally, by always packing chamomile tea and a hot water bottle too. It's the perfect natural travel medicine if you happen to get car sick, plane sick, or so on. Praying for you both and sending blessings from Europe today. That is Sunflower Lindy. Thank you for emailing, Lindy. We appreciate that.
Those are brilliant ideas. I love that. I've heard that before too about bringing flowers into, especially if you're going to be in a hotel room for a few days, just to make it, more homey, something like that. That's brilliant. Or somebody said you can't bring. Well, you're not supposed to do candles because you're not supposed to have matches and stuff in non-smoking rooms and stuff like that. But even those battery-operated candles or something, somebody said that just makes it feel, a little bit more like home. That's interesting, though. I never thought of that. Did you ever do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I have often taken Christmas lights with me to decorate a hotel room when I've been traveling around the holidays. I think it's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm a Christmas light guy completely. I love Christmas lights.
Yeah, me too. I would love to keep them up all year.
Yeah, well, I usually have them up. We're supposed to keep them up through Epiphany, right?
Mm-hmm,
and
right.
Then I usually have them up a little bit longer than that, just kind of conveniently forgetting to take them down for a few more days.
Right. And just one little side note, but yesterday I mentioned that we do put up our Christmas decorations on Friday, and I got an email from a lovely lady that said, I hope you don't start celebrating, because we're supposed to be in preparation. Absolutely. I'm a big Advent girl, just to let you know. So I don't turn the lights on. The baby Jesus doesn't appear in the nativity set yet, and all of that. I'm very big on making the most of the Advent liturgical season. Very important. So I just wanted to let folks know that I don't want people to think that I celebrate too early.
Right. No.
Right.
Yeah, I think we can make distinctions between certain decorative things, lights and things like that, and then the religious symbolism and parts of the Advent season. Certainly, I'm with you on that. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I think we have Susan ready now in Connecticut. So let's go to the lines here. Susan, listening on the EWTN app. Hi, Susan. Welcome to Take Two. Hello, Susan. Are you with us? We may have to have Matt check back in on Susan.
Okay. I think he's checking right now.
Yeah.
Just to share that too, Jerry, the start of Advent, I would encourage folks to really have an Advent wreath, have it blessed, and really enter into deeply that wonderful preparation time to truly get excited and prepare for the birth of Jesus. Very, very important. And you shared, Jerry, that we're going to be doing the Advent mission in Arizona next week or the week after next, and it's so important that folks don't rush the times. I know I'm looking around our neighborhood right now, Jerry, and I have to tell you, probably half of the neighborhood already has their Christmas lights up and running, because I think that people are longing for a celebratory time, because we've been in lockdown and social distanced and, separated from one another. They're looking for a time of celebration and peace and happiness. And so that's understandable too.
I certainly agree with that. Yeah, I think people are very much looking for getting back into the spirit of things. I mean, when we could use the word normal, so to speak, kind of getting back to normal, but will we ever be back to what normal was, say, a couple years ago? I don't know. I really don't know. A lot of people are saying that the COVID is with us to stay, and I mean that probably makes sense. I mean the flu has never gone away. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see just how long we have the impact of this before maybe we can start to think, okay, we're settling back into maybe life the way it used to be, if that's even possible. I don't know. I'd love to hear some people's thoughts on that too.
Well, and let me just share this. Maybe I was hoping somebody would bring up that we need to have a lot of patience when we're traveling, because everybody's a little bit on edge, going through COVID, and we just really need to be kind to one another because it's a tough time for everyone. Everybody's dealing with something in the loss. Yep. People have lost a lot of things this past 2 years. So, folks, this is your show. Please call in and share your travel tips and how to make it enjoyable, make it a very blessed experience at 833-288-3986.
Wherever you are in the world, you can access the EWTN Global Catholic Network. It's everywhere. You can get EWTN's great Catholic programming on your car radio, at home on your TV, computer, or smart speaker. With EWTN's app, you can take EWTN everywhere on your phone or mobile device. If you want your news in print, turn to EWTN's paper of record, the National Catholic Register. EWTN, the Global Catholic Network.
Archbishop Cordileone talks about the National Catholic Register.
The register's content is so critically important in the society we're living in now. There's an absence of the practice of religion in public life. So all the more important is it for people to be reading the register so that they can acquire more understanding of our Catholic faith. I've appreciated the catechetical benefits of the content of the register. It presents very clear Catholic teaching in a way that is easily digestible.
To get 6 free issues, order online at ncregister.com/radio or call 800-421-3230 and mention code radio. That's ncregister.com/radio or 800-421-3230 and mention code radio. Call or click today. The National Catholic Register. Read faithfully.
This is Debbie Georgiani. If you missed part of today's show, catch the encore tonight at midnight Eastern. Check out the podcast anytime at EWTNradio.net and click podcasts.
Hi, this is Dr. David Anders. Do you have questions about the Catholic faith? Get the answers on Call to Communion, coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern. Now, back to Take 2 with Jerry and Debbie.
All right, it's your show, Take 2 with Jerry and Debbie and you on EWTN Radio. Kind of a short week for live shows. So yesterday, today, and tomorrow will be pre-recorded on Thursday and Friday. And we hope and pray that you have an opportunity too, maybe to have a little bit of extra time, downtime, relaxing time. Maybe some of it's going to be hectic time. We're talking today about making travel enjoyable, whatever mode of travel that is for you. Share your experiences or kind of what you're looking forward to this year. 833-288-3986.
Okay, we got Susan back from Connecticut, listening on the EWTN app. Thank you, Susan, and welcome again.
Thank you, guys. I just want to also preface by saying in a world with such discouraging events and news, it's a pleasure to listen to both of you. You guys are my favorite. So encouraging and uplifting. And honestly, of all the subjects, I could practically call in for every subject that you guys have, but don't ask me why this one I got through. So for travel, what we have played, in addition to all the other ones going on a picnic and everything else, is a game called Sweet and Sour in the car. And before you get to the car that you're going to pass on either side, everyone in the car has to guess if the person who's driving, their expression will be sweet or a sour expression. So everybody yells out what they think it's going to be. And then as you pass the car, everyone is staring at the person to look at their expression. And 9 out of 10 times the person feels that they're being looked at will turn and watch everybody looking at them. And you just start cracking up. So that's always a fun way to pass the time. Just wanted to share.
Okay, I'm totally cracking up, Susan, because I could just picture my husband and I doing that in California on the California highways and freeways. I don't know if that would go over real big. Jerry, what do you think?
I totally encourage you to do it. You will start cracking up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
so
Arizona,
you
I
by
think
yourself.
Yeah.
You don't need a bunch of kids in the car.
But Arizona, I think we could do it, but I don't know. Jerry, what do you think? You guys seem like you're much more like you have that aggressive driver, kind of face on.
Well, yeah, I tend to be fairly conservative about things like that, but this is the first time I've heard this, Susan, and I'm just curious. What are some of the reactions that you've seen when you've been doing this, Susan? What are some of the more unique reactions?
They'll take a double look, like, why is everyone in their car staring at me and laughing? Sometimes they'll laugh back, sometimes we'll get a wave. If they have a very sour expression, well, that's just the way they are. Sometimes maybe we can make them smile as well. So it's just a fun way to pass the time.
Okay, so I have to ask you this question, Susan, just because I'm curious. Have you ever gotten a negative gesture?
No,
wow.
Never.
Okay. No. All right. Well, I'm going to try it, Susan. I'll let you know how it goes.
We're not laughing and pointing or anything like that. It's really a quick game because you're in traffic and you got to move on to the next car and guess sweet or sour. So it goes by pretty
hilarious.
Fast. It is.
That's hilarious. I love that game, Jerry. If we're ever in a car again traveling, we got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don't have to be traveling far.
Yeah.
You don't. It can be a game to be played anytime in the car.
Right.
So, just wanted to share. And again, I just wanted to say I love your show. I love the energy and the faith that you both emit, and especially in these trying times. And it's just a pleasure to have this positivity on the radio. So thank you. Thank you for always
Thank
being
you, Susan.
Thank
you. That really made our day. Thank you so much. Actually, it made our year. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that was it.
Have a blessed Thanksgiving, Susan. God bless you.
Thanks to both of you. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Right.
Okay, call us again. Okay, thank you.
All
That
right.
was good. I love that. I wrote that down. Sweet and sour. We're gonna do that game. I love that game. I'll let you know how it goes. I hope we don't end up in some road rage incident.
Yeah, well, I was thinking this would probably go over better in some parts of the country than in others, like you were pointing out, California. I don't know. I don't know if I would do it or not. Of course, I'm usually alone when I'm driving, so I have to kind of keep my eyes on the road. So
I have to say one thing about California drivers. I know it was a kind of a general statement I made. Not everybody is like that, but your freeways go very fast, your highways. But I noticed that you point and go. You don't hesitate. So actually, I feel you're very skilled drivers. It's amazing how you maneuver in and out of traffic the way you guys do without, I do think your guardian angels are all working overtime though on the freeways.
Well, yeah, and there are a lot of, speed demons as they were once called, but obviously you get on certain parts of the freeways at certain times of the day, and that kind of takes care of that problem for you because you're reduced to much slower speeds.
Much slower. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're stuck in traffic a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have patience then, huh? A lot of patience.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Christina weighed in. She called in and just wanted to let us know that she's in Dallas and she has left her Christmas lights up for 2 years. And she doesn't care what anybody else thinks about it. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Good.
With a name like Christina, you can get away with it, right?
There you go. There you go. Yeah, well, just kind of, maintaining that spirit, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a Christmas lights guy. They do something for me. They absolutely do something for me.
Well, it lifts your spirit. It lifts your spirit. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, if any of the neighbors say anything, she could say, "My name is Christina. I have Christ in my name. I want to keep the light of Christ out there." Right?
Yeah.
I agree. Jean's up next.
Yep. Let's go to Jean in Cleveland, listening on The Rock. Hello, Jean. Welcome to Take Two.
Oh, thank you. When we were kids, one of the games we used to play was a guessing game where one person would think of a particular person, and the other people in the car would ask yes and no questions. And if I remember correctly, if the answer was no, then you kept going to the next person. And then if the person answered, if the one who was thinking of the name was able to answer yes to a question, then that person would keep going until he or she found out, exactly who that person was thinking about. Mm-hmm. And you could ask questions like, did this person live in the 15th century? Did this person live in, was he a king? Or, was he, a statesman? Or was he a criminal? Or, you could ask anything. Mm-hmm. And you just kept going until, you thought of a person. And whoever thought of that person, they could think of the next person.
Yeah. You jogged my memory because we used to play that with the kids all the time. I love 20 questions. And that's how we used to play it as well. You could keep asking until you got a no answer and then had to go to the next person. I love that. I thought that was great. Did you ever play it, Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did something similar actually. What we would do is we would say initials of somebody in our town or our neighborhood or our school, one of our friends. We would say initials, and then people would have to guess who that was. And I just remember I always wanted to start with DW because we had 3 friends whose initials were DW. So there was always a good chance that one of my siblings was not going to guess the right person. But we would do something similar like that. Yeah.
That's cool. And Jean, here's what's interesting about what you just said about 20 questions. These mind, games or puzzles or things that you do that really just get the mind to start working. I mean, we found out now, right, with the increase in dementia and Alzheimer's, that it's important to do these types of the games that you're utilizing various aspects of your brain and your mind. And so it also can have a long-term beneficial, that it can be a benefit in the long term, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. Another good game might be Password.
Oh, I loved Password. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We used to watch it on TV, and that would probably be another good game. I don't know if we ever played it while we were traveling, but that would be another good one. And then there's another one that we play on this site that I go on occasionally. It's mostly blind people that are on it, but in fact, I think it's all blind people. But anyway, it's a game called Kringle, where if they tell you how many letters and you have to guess, and you start off with 10 points. And we're on teams when we do this, but you start off with 10 points, and if you can't guess, you would say, "I need to buy a letter," or "I need to." Can you fill it with, and then whatever letter, and then they'll tell you, and they have to spell it like E blank, E blank, 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 and they'll give you a clue, such as the one was like uneasiness about whether something is right or wrong, and I remember I was on the captain of the team, and as soon as she gave the letter Q, and it was Q blank A, I went, oh my gosh, qualms. But I couldn't think of it before that. And of course, the longer it takes, the less points you have. But but that's an interesting game.
Fascinating.
It's called Kringle,
and Password, and 20 questions. It sounds like you probably never ever had a conflict at all in the car, Jean, with family when you've been traveling, because you've had all these great games to play.
Well, we never really didn't know about Kringle. I just found out about it recently, and I don't know if we ever played Password, but I have played it, maybe at home. But the 20 questions was something that we definitely played. In fact, when I was unemployed, but was doing some, therapeutic entertainment sessions at a couple of nursing homes, I used to play that game with the goals of people, taking turns. I didn't quite stick to, you can say yes, until you miss a no question. Each person, they had to take turns asking one question each. Otherwise the one person might tend to dominate. Mm-hmm. So So I used to play it with them, with that change of the rules, just so that give more people a chance to, to ask the question.
Nice. God bless you for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a great gift to those individuals that you played that game with. Wow, Gene. So you've really contributed wonderfully to the program today. Anything last words before we let you go?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving,
Holy and happy.
Gene.
Holy
Yes.
and happy.
Holy and happy.
Holy and happy. I love that, Gene. God bless you. Thank you so very much. Gene brings up a good point, Jerry. Getting back to these games like trivia, the trivia games, they have that card trivia boxes you can take with you, or the board games that we can play when we get together with family and friends. I mean, those, I think it's much better, especially now, because if you turn on the TV set, let's face it, it's pretty depressing, right? So this, I think, getting back to the old-fashioned forms of entertainment, around the table and having fun with that, really could be a very memorable Thanksgiving experience, I think, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We're continuing along here on this Tuesday broadcast of Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Lines available. Still time for you to get in. We're talking about how to make that holiday travel, whether it's by car, by airplane. Maybe you just have a short walking distance to wherever you're going to spend time with loved ones or family or friends this holiday season. How do you make that really, truly enjoyable and a real blessed experience? 833-288-3986. Moving along to Ann, who is in Buffalo, listening on our friends at the Station of the Cross. Hi, Ann. Good to have you with us on Take Two. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for all you do. You cheer up my day.
Oh, bless you.
I keep the TV turned off a lot because I can't take it anymore.
I know what you mean.
Me too.
I just have a couple of tips for traveling. I have an aunt. When I was little, I used to spend a lot of time at her house, and she always used to do the sign of the cross before she drove out of the driveway, and I find myself still doing that. I have another friend that she woke up on a long drive, and she was sleeping, and so was everyone in the car. So she, woke up the driver, and so, try to get out of the car, walk around, a couple of spins around the car and get back in to keep the circulation moving. I just wanted to share a story with my dad. He came from Europe. He was an orphan. He came here to be a steel worker, had a big family, and he used to love traveling to Canada and drive long drives. Well, I can remember I was very young, and he was in the middle of nowhere and in the countryside, and there was this guy walking along the road. And he said, well, he seems like he's having a tough time. Why don't we stop and say hello? He offered him a chocolate milk. The guy was afraid of spilling the milk in his car, but he took it, and he drove the guy home. And he said I would have been walking for hours from my job. Thank you so much. So be patient, everyone. Look at people's faces, and you never really know what people are going through. So try not to confront people. Just try to be patient and kind, and say a prayer for somebody that looks a little sad. And that's all I wanted to say. And happy Thanksgiving.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you too, Ann. And what a beautiful heart that your dad must have had. Is he still with us? Is he still living?
No. He used to be an auto mechanic, and he used to stop on the highway and fix people's cars that were on the side of the road.
Is that
before
right?
Before everything was computerized,
Right.
He died in 2003. He died.
Okay.
He had a heart of gold.
Yeah. Are you comfortable giving us his first name? We have our prayer book. We can add him and you and your whole family in there if you want.
Anthony. In fact, my mother's anniversary of death is today, and hers was Josephine.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've lost both of your parents. God rest their souls.
Yeah.
They sound like they were wonderful people.
They
And
were.
yeah. What a dad. What a great dad. These are the things that stay with you, and obviously, Ann, have stayed with you and impacted you your whole life. So thanks for sharing those stories, Debbie. I don't know if you want to.
I totally
weigh in on
agree.
This, but yeah,
I got emotional as you were sharing about your dad, Ann. That's so beautiful. I lost my dad in 2010, and it's just amazing. that generation, they had a whole different spirit about them of how they related to other people, and it's just amazing. And I do feel that we've lost so much of that. And I'm glad you brought up about just being kind and patient with others, because we're all wounded souls, right? Walking around, and we have our issues and things that are happening, and some people are really broken, and some people are really struggling, and we don't know what they're dealing with, and we could either push them over the edge, we can make them, or we can make them feel like God is there again, in with our presence of just being kind. So thank you, Anne. You're a beautiful soul, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Okay. God bless you.
Yeah,
Wow.
beautiful.
Good calls. Yeah.
That was a great call. Okay, may I share about, because you know how I love EWTNRC.com. Hint, hint, folks, we're getting closer to Christmas, and we have to wrap those gifts, so you got to go there and check out what you can buy as meaningful gifts for your loved ones. Mother Angelica's In His Sandals. Absolutely amazing product there on EWTNRC.com. And these pages are filled with Mother's practical wisdom as she guides you through Scripture and the writings of St. John, St. James, and St. Paul. And so Mother offers advice there. It's just amazing. Please check it out, and check out all the other products there and all the gifts there, and all the spiritual items that you can buy. Those are important. Those are going to get people closer to God. And that's what we need to do. That's the name of the game. So you buy Catholic, shop EWTNRC.com.
Yeah, and that reminds me, I was Facebook messaging with a friend yesterday, and we were just talking about the times that we're in right now and how really urgent things are, how very serious things are. She typed over, yet deadly serious. And what we were meaning by that was just, the state of the world right now, and we need to be really feeding our souls. We need to be in prayer every day. We need to be doing good spiritual reading. We need to have sacramentals around us, and all of these things are going to support our faith and the faith of those that we love. So please, I just want to piggyback on what Debbie was saying. Please utilize EWTNRC.com for many of your Christmas and holiday gifts this year. Because it is really a time that we're living in when we need to do all that we can to make sure that we're prepared. I mean, Advent is a time of preparation.
That's right.
We ultimately prepare for the second coming of Christ, whether that's in our lifetime or at our passing. So we need to be prepared. It's time, folks. This is really a good time to be taking our faith very seriously and giving those gifts that are going to help to bolster that faith.
My sister calls it soul preparation stage. She's in the soul preparation stage. I love that.
I like it. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that is really good. Okay, so Jerry, wave to Dave on YouTube. Jerry's waving to you, Dave. Dave says, ever since returning to a practicing Catholic status, I try to go to Mass and confession whenever I am traveling. I love that. I also bring books to read, music to listen to, and my pocket trumpet to practice. I think that is brilliant. And Dave, to your point, I bring books, spiritual reading materials. I bring them on the plane. You know this, Jerry, and it turns into a conversation, and it's a way to evangelize, because people will say, who's Padre Pio? Why are you reading a whole gigantic book on him?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, and Cindy watching on Facebook says another game is take a root word and find words that include that root word, like green equals greenhorn, wintergreen, green at the gills, etc.
I love that. I'm going to write that down. That is great. That is creative. We're going to another Cindy as our last caller today, right?
Yep.
Go right ahead. Okay.
Cindy is Boonville, Arkansas, listening on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call. This has been a great show.
Thank you.
I have two games. One we used to play. I used to live in Connecticut, and when we were young and going to visit my grandparents in New York, kids, of course, get antsy in the car, even though it was only an hour drive. And we played a game called States. So you would look at license plates and try to get as many different states as you could, and you write them down, and whoever got the most won by the time you got, to where you were going. And we really had a lot of fun with that one. And then the other game I played with a friend of mine when we would take a trip over to Cape Cod. Did you remember those Mad Lib books where you would have to fill in nouns and everything. We would just take it, and it's good because the driver can really get involved in this too. And my friend or I, we would say, okay, I need a verb, I need an adverb, I need an adjective, whatever it is, and you fill it in the spots, and then you read back the silly story that you made, putting in all those different words. You wouldn't know what the story was about, and that was a lot of fun.
Wow. Nice. I'm somewhat familiar with the Mad Libs, but the state plates, I love that concept, and it could be so much fun. The only thing, the challenge, I'm wondering if you ever ran into this, Cindy, is because a lot of states have multiple different styles of license plates. So, did you ever find that sometimes that could be, maybe you think it's one thing and you find out maybe it's something else after that?
Well, yes. Sometimes that did happen, but back then, and we're talking probably 45 years ago, there weren't as many differentiations.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the personalized
so
plates.
it was a while ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But that was always fun. Yeah.
Okay, so Cindy, I'm cracking up because I live in Arizona, and in the past, you could drive through the state of Arizona and see a ton of different plates because everybody came to Arizona, especially during the winter months, to get out of the cold, back east and stuff like that. But now, if we were playing that game, this is how it would look on an Arizona freeway. We would be looking around for miles and miles and miles, and all you would see is California license plates in Arizona.
Yeah.
So it would be, yeah, everybody would say, oh, another California license plate. It's kind of funny, though. But, I love that, though. I think that's brilliant.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, and it was kind of the same with New York, but every once in a while you'd find one from Alaska or New Mexico or something, and you'd get all excited.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love it. I have to tell you something though, real quickly, if we have time. Cindy, stay on for a second. And Jerry, this happened yesterday. Sure. It just, I don't know. It didn't make me feel good inside. I was behind a car, beautiful car, brand new, and they had one of those personalized license plates, and they had in their license plate was devil. They actually, yeah, and I didn't like it at all. So I said a prayer for them. I just didn't like it. I thought, why would, I don't know. It just didn't feel right. It felt wrong. I don't know. I just didn't. Yeah. So I prayed. It's a shame because it was a younger couple and you can tell they had kids because there was some car seats. And I thought, why put that on there? I don't know. I don't know what, I'm not making judgments or anything, but I just don't think I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, and I probably would have said a prayer too. Did the sign of the cross and said, "I hope that doesn't mean what it appears to me."
Yeah, and actually, one of our show team just asked what maybe to clarify. I think it had something to do because we're in Arizona State University, and it's the home of the Sun Devils.
Yeah,
and so maybe it had. Yeah, it probably had something to do with ASU, but still, I don't know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. What do you think, Jer?
Yeah.
No, I that's what came to my mind too. Maybe it was Arizona State fan, but either way, I think be nice to kind of stay away from things like that if we can, especially if it was intended for what you kind of took it to mean, Debbie. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was just too bold. I don't know, because if you're playing games and stuff with kids in the car, and like Cindy was saying, kids are looking at license plates, and then they see that. I don't know. It's just, I always say, be careful what you put on things because it has an impact on kids.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Cindy, for the call. Happy Thanksgiving to you. We had an email come in just at the last minute from our friend Astrid. She says, Teresa Tomeo had a woman doctor on her show this morning, and they spoke about how great it is to play games in our families. They said children absolutely love it when their parents play games with them, board games, card games, and so on. She says, I agree. It bonds people as you look at each other and giggle together. Happy Thanksgiving. That's from Astrid.
I love that, especially hide and seek when the kids are little. You tell them to go hide, and then you never go find them.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay, tomorrow we're talking about, do you love to cook? We want to hear your cooking tips tomorrow, right before Thanksgiving. So please be thinking of that and call in tomorrow. Until then, have a beautiful and blessed day in the year of St. Joseph. St. Joseph, please pray for us.
He is honored by the Church as a saint with the title